Hey everyone, welcome to Find Your People, Strategic Partnerships with Teachers and Leaders in Your School. I'm Katie Sutcliffe, the Writing Center Director at the Episcopal School of Baton Rouge.
And I'm Tiffany Whitehead, the Library Director.
Today we're going to share a number of collaborative projects that we've been working on this year. We're hoping that it'll spark inspiration and ideas for you to take back to your Writing Center. We're going to stop periodically and allow you to think about ways to brainstorm collaborations and partnerships that we hope that will invigorate you this year, next year.
So throughout our session, we'll invite you to find your people. And if you already have a person that you work really well with and collaborate with frequently, that's great. But if not, we hope that you'll spend some time today thinking about the different people on your campus and how their goals can align with your goals to promote your writing center. So if you don't have your person just yet, we hope that our strategies today will help you think through that and find a person that could be your collaboration partner in your writing center.
So over the past decade, our Writing Center has worked with a lot of students, a lot of faculty, and recently we discovered this magic of partnering directly with our school librarian and merging writing and reading initiatives more intentionally. So a little backstory about our Writing Center. We are just about 10 years old. We have moved locations several times, too many to count, and had 3 directors. We started to feel insulated from the rest of the community and wanted to be sure we could integrate more fully. So our latest location change really helped us to do that. We moved to the library last year, and my direct work with Tiffany, our librarian, gave us strength in numbers, and we started to be able to be a little more proactive about going right to the students rather than waiting for them to come to us. So we have recently started hosting entire classes in our space and tailoring our help to fit the needs of the particular class. So in other words, we've discovered this new area of potential for our Writing Center work that goes beyond the traditional one-on-one sessions and incorporates whole classes. One of my favorite authors is Malcolm Gladwell, and one of his earlier works, The Tipping Point, in it, he describes different types of people and how they spread ideas. He talks about mavens, connectors, and salesmen. So we're arguing that if you're in the business of running or working in a writing center, you are a connector. The health of your writing center depends on connecting with others, and that process has a ripple effect when it's done well. So when a student has a positive experience in your writing center, they share that experience with their friends and classmates, and then their friends come back to see us. So the same goes for teachers who you collaborate with too. We are in the business of forging meaningful connections. Finding those folks on campus who you already connect with will be a really great place to start. So now we would invite you to pause the video here and think about our first question. Who do you consider allies at your school, personally and professionally? Think about how those people could help advance your goals in your writing center. In what ways would you like to collaborate more directly with those people on your goals and initiatives?
So for us, we naturally gravitate towards our English department for our first collaborations, but we've actually found that our history department is very enthusiastic when it comes to working with us, both in the library and the writing center. So we hosted classes at the beginning of the year, all of our middle school and upper school English classes, and we invited them to come to the library and the writing center for orientation. So finding partnerships that are meaningful, it takes a long time. This is a long-term process. So it takes constant reaching out and offering opportunities for collaboration. This year, at the very beginning of the school year, we expressed our hopes to collaborate with teachers, all of our teachers, during our faculty in-service. So we created a graphic that shows different ways that the Writing Center and library could offer support. And then after those first couple of crazy weeks of the school year, we followed up by printing out that graphic, adding a personalized note, and then a little treat bag. And we put that in the boxes of all of our teachers so that we could remind them of the partnerships that we were hoping to carry on throughout the year. A big project that we do collaboratively is our 9th grade World History Research Project. And this is a collaboration between the English and the history departments. This is a project that as the librarian I've been involved in for many years, and it's kind of grown and developed throughout the years. So Katie and I sat down as the librarian and writing center coordinator with all of our 9th grade English and history teachers well before the project was going to begin, so that we could open up with conversations about how we could best support them throughout the entire process. So the way that we supported them through this process, we started off with helping their history teachers in topic selection. As the librarian, I did an overview of our library databases and Noodle tools. And then throughout the process, they were constantly coming into the library where we could support them, and the writing fellows could also support them. So the history teachers helped with topic selection, finding and evaluating sources, and then using the content to create some type of final product that would be used in a formal presentation. The English teachers really focused on the moving from the sources to a more formal paper, the process of outlining, writing, and revising. And our writing fellows met with every single 9th grade student during their outlining process and helping them translate that into their paper, which was a really, really powerful experience.
So we've also teamed up with a number of other initiatives and classes through the course of the year that have been really exciting. We collaborated with the literary magazine, which was easy for me since I am also the sponsor of that. But if I weren't, I would have reached out to that person. And we host workshops and contests in collaboration with our literary magazine. So for example, we have a really fun tradition of waffle workshops where the students enjoy waffles while students host different talks and different writing activities. And we just had one last month that was kind of Valentine's focused, which was fun. Students are also then encouraged to submit their work to the magazine, and it's just a really nice collaborative effort. Other things we've worked on this year, we worked with the 8th grade English classes as they were doing personal narratives. Writing fellows teamed up in small groups where students could read their pieces and have like a true creative writing workshop experience. With 7th grade, who also did some creative work, we did dialogue workshops. 11th graders were having some trouble remembering some MLA formatting and how to integrate research into their papers. So we did a mini lesson with them, and then writing fellows and I helped to make sure that they were remembering all those good things. And the teacher actually was able to, after we did the entire group session, send individual students back to the Writing Center who had additional questions or who were still struggling. We like to remind our faculty frequently that we're here. So periodically in faculty meetings, we will mention what we've been up to, and we had a great surprise in the last couple months that our first math teacher reached out about partnering up on a finance research paper for her finite math class. I think that was the first time that's happened in Writing Center history. She came and brought her classes, worked with Tiffany on some research, and writing fellows were able to conference with those students as they were developing their papers. So we encourage you to keep yourself on faculty and student radar all the time. The right people will eventually take your invitation. It may take a minute, but persistence and keeping your program visible is key.
So like Katie said, it's really important to constantly remind your faculty that you are there to be a resource for them. And one way that we've done that this year, at the end of each quarter, we've put together a graphic that we've both shared on social media and also shared in our faculty meetings that's just highlighting the different partnerships and classes that we've had come in the library. So it's a really great way not only to get back in front of the faculty and remind them that we're there as a resource, but also to kind of highlight and celebrate those faculty members who have brought their classes in and have been collaborating with us in that particular quarter. So that's been a really big win for us this year. We found that both as a librarian and a writing center coordinator, it's easy for us to just hunker down and wait for people to come to us because we can always stay busy no matter what. But that really doesn't allow us to have the greatest impact in our school. So by us teaming up together, we really were able to bring a new energy to the space. We were able to approach other potential allies together and really dream up some great collaborations that we were able to make happen throughout the year. So we've been able to really expand our reach with our combined efforts. So if I hear something about a teacher that's planning to do a project in their classroom that would really benefit from the Writing Center getting involved, I go straight to Katie with those details, and that works both ways. So we're really able to keep our ear to the ground and know what's going on in our school and in the classrooms and find ways that we can bring those folks into our shared space so that we can work and support them together.
So we do want to acknowledge that we have an advantage of a very large shared space, and we want to share what that looks like with you here. We're in the large library, but the Writing Center itself is pretty small. We're just in a little alcove upstairs. The proximity, though, is the key, that we are here in a space where other things are happening and that students are actually able to spread out as needed so we can conform the space to fit our needs. Classes who may visit or just are working on reading initiatives or research can collaborate easily in this space. We'd like for you to pause the video here and think about your campus and your physical location. We realize that you may not have as large of a location, or perhaps you have a different situation or you're traveling. But we want you to think about being creative about how you can use your space effectively or borrow a space. So ask yourself, is your current space conducive to those collaborations with teachers and classes? Or perhaps is there a shared space on campus that you could look into using for the times that you're collaborating? Brainstorm areas of your school that you might want to ask about. You could always go straight to a teacher's classroom and consider a Writing Center traveling roadshow for those times where you just want to reach more than one student at a time and partner up with an entire class. That could be a really exciting project for the future.
So finally, we just want to encourage you to take time right now to make a pledge to take a risk and buddy up with someone on a project. For us, finding each other and being able to work together really just brought a new energy to both the library and the Writing Center program. So who could be that person for you? And once you find your allies, there will be no shortage of opportunities to keep collaborating all year long. So what is one idea for a fresh connection or a new collaboration or project that you would like to pilot this spring or early fall? Take some time and think about that, kind of make some notes for yourself, and really plan to step out and try something new.